Technically speaking, technically speaking, I ain't talking vegan when I said that I've been eating, making money on the side, but I use it for the main. I'm speaking in code when I tech talk that financial freedom. Have a seat cause you gon' wanna sit up at my table, yeah. Plugged in that it, girl, IT with the cables, yeah. Network engineering is for you, it ain't no label.
Welcome back to another lesson with the AZ104 exam prep. We are going through each exam topic on the AZ104 so we can ensure we pass this exam. Okay, today's lesson is going to be about configuring role-based access controls. Okay, RBAC. Now, these access controls just manage access to Azure resources. And these resources are like virtual machines, websites, networks, and even the storage, right? So we're just protecting the data and controlling who can access that data. All right. We all know about access control. You want to know who can access what level of our data. So when we're thinking about it, let's think of a scenario. We have the organization, it's growing, right? And we want to make sure that it's easy to manage multiple subscriptions. So we have a help desk, and we want to ensure that the help desk members can create these support tickets and view these resources, but not all the resources in the resource group, okay? So we're gonna implement a management group, create a custom RBAC role, and then assign that RBAC role, okay? Let's go ahead and get to it.
Is your business struggling to stand out in the crowded market? Do you feel overwhelmed with the challenges of creating a powerful brand? Introducing our complete branding solution, a comprehensive service designed to transform your business identity. From logo design and market analysis to digital presence and ongoing support, we handle it all. Our expert team will create a unique and memorable brand that reflects your vision and resonates with your target audience. Ready to elevate your brand? Contact us today to schedule your initial consultation and start your journey to a powerful brand. Complete branding solution, transforming businesses, one brand at a time.
So go ahead and download the text editor if you already have it or not. You can go ahead and download Visual Studio Code and open it up here. And you're going to create a new file, and we're going to basically copy and paste this JSON file here, this JSON code. I have attached that into the files, the PDF files, so you guys can literally copy and paste. All right. Now, basically, we are creating a custom role. We're saying, hey, here is a role, and this is what this role can and cannot do. Okay. As you can see, this role can read, this role can write, allows reading and managing support tickets. Okay. Now, when you copy and paste this, you will have to edit this. You will have to edit to ensure that it has your subscription ID. So it's going to say subscriptions, and right here is where you're going to take this word out, these words out, and put your subscription ID of your Azure environment. Okay, you can sign up for a free environment and start doing these labs just like I am doing these labs. ID, you can generate a custom ID if you want, or you can actually put in an ID that you like for this role. And then we're naming this role support request contributor, just because it's just best to keep it how the lab is, but you can name it whatever you want. All right. And once you have this, I want you to go ahead, go to file, and we're going to save as. And I want you to save as a name. I've done this a couple times in the other groups. So I do have one that's called support request contributor.json. The .json is the file type. So I suggest you name your file the same thing, right? Or you can name it something like myjsonfile.json. Okay. I'm not going to click on these because these actually have my subscription ID, and I don't want you guys to get into it, into my thing while I'm doing the labs here. Okay. So definitely copy and paste this, excuse me, in the text editor, and ensure that you have edited your subscription ID in any other fields, maybe like the custom role or contributor. Okay. Now, as you go through, once you finish that and you save it, you're going to exit out of it. Go ahead and bring that out. And then we're going to open up PowerShell. PowerShell should already be on your computer if you're running Windows 10 and up. But if you're someone like a Mac user or a Linux user, you may just have to open up your defaulted terminal. Okay, so I'm gonna come in here. We're gonna put PowerShell. I open PowerShell ISE, and it's best if you run it as administrator. I was looking at some of the labs. They don't tell you to run it as administrator, but I do this at work and we have to run administrator. So I suggest we're going to do the same thing I do in real life and real work. So we're going to click on run as a. Yes, I do want that to make changes, and it's going to populate. Let me go ahead and put this over here so you guys can see that it is populated. Great. So now you're in PowerShell. You will possibly have to install the PowerShell, the Azure PowerShell module, which I've already installed it, but I'm just going to go ahead and just run the command just so you guys can see. So I'm going to come in here and just paste the command. I gave you guys the command in the PDF, so you don't have to go look for it. All right. This command is basically saying, hey, install this module, which is the Azure module. This allow cobbler right here is saying overwrite any existing commands if it has a conflict, right? And then the scope is current user. I am the current user. And then force is just skipping it again and making sure that, hey, run this regardless. I'm going to press enter. And when I press enter, it's going to go think about some things. So just give it some time. I suggest you be patient with this end, especially if this is your first time installing this module. You may be prompted to like trust it or confirm that it's you installing it. So just look alive. But it's good. Like I said, it's going to take a few moments. So let's just wait here. All right, so it looks like now it is completed. It says the version is currently in use. Retry the operation. Like I said, I've already ran this, was already working on this in the earlier class. So, but this is what you would do. You'll wait that long until it completes what it needs to complete. All right, now we're going to log into Azure. So we're going to use this command, which is connect-AZ account. Okay, just copy, paste it, and enter. Right, it's going to run this command and it's going to say something like, oh, okay, so I didn't configure everything because I'm trying to go into these exam topics in order instead of bouncing around. So some things definitely need to be configured first. However, we do have a workaround to get into this. So I didn't set up. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to run this command. This is connecting the Azure account, like I said. However, it's going to say dash device code. And this dash device code is basically just forcing it to authenticate in a browser instead of a pop-up popping up and wanting me to sign in and do all this other stuff, which is the right way to do it, especially in a big environment. However, I didn't configure everything, so let's just sign in with a code, okay? A code that's going to be sent. So let's go ahead and press enter. And right here, it tells me, go to this website and enter this code. So let's go ahead, let's copy. And let's go to the website. Okay. As you can see, this is the website here that I went to. I just copied and pasted. Then it says enter this code. Let me see. Where's the code? Oh, this is the code. This code is pretty weird. Pretty weird. So I'm gonna do FSA2 ZZZDVW. I think that's the code. Let's try it out. Okay, of course it didn't work. And enter code. I think that's it, maybe. Oops. Let me go back to my sign in. All right, there we go. Now, it's going to tell me to pick an account. I'm going to pick the account that I want to use, continue. And then it says you have signed into the Microsoft Azure PowerShell application. I can close this one. Great. Okay. So now, as you can see, it tells me that I have logged into my Azure account. Now, what I have to do, because we had our JSON file, we edited the file, we saved the file, we named it, saved it, great. Now what we have to do is upload that file, that custom file, okay? So we wanna ensure that you are in the correct path to open the file, because opening the file, again, you have to be in the correct folder. Now, this is a little Linux that you may have to learn, or if you already know it, it's easier for you to learn. So what I do, because I'm not in the correct file where I saved my, I'm not in the correct directory where I saved my file, so I'm gonna have to do the CD change directory ... meaning to go backwards. So now I'm not in system anymore. As you can see, I'm gonna do CD ... so I can go backwards again. Okay. So now I need to, let me pull up my file name. So I don't know my file name off the rip. Okay. Okay. So now I'm in here. So I'm gonna have to go to users. Oh, I'm going to say change CD, change directory, and name the directory. It is case sensitive users. So now I'm in users. So I'm going to change directory, go to my next folder or directory is that. And then I'm going to change directory and go to my next one. Okay. And I'm going to change directory one more time and go to where I actually saved it in my desktop. All right, now that I am in my desktop, I'm in the correct directory that I saved my file. Now I'm going to put the command of where my file. So I'm going to go ahead and copy. Again, I put these all on the PDF. Copy, paste. Okay. Again, so we're going to do this new role and we're going to input this file. And this is the name of my file, right? And your file name may be different, but this is the name of mine, which is my JSON file.json. Okay. So now that I have that, I'm uploading it. Let me go ahead and press enter. So let's let it think about what it wants to do and then upload the file. All right, so if you got something like this screen, that means that yes, you have created and uploaded a custom role using JSON into Azure Portal, right? You can see the role, the name of the role is here. It has the role ID that was automatically generated. It is custom. It allows reading and managing support tickets. As you can see, it has all that. And assignable scope, the scope that is assigned to is subscriptions, right? We want to manage our subscriptions. So if we ever wanted to take a look at these roles, we can go into our Azure portal, go into our subscriptions, right? Because that's where we have the assignable scopes, okay? And then we're going to go to access control, IAM, identity access control. We can do roles and we can look for, let's just support, let's filter it. Support 15. So I made a couple support contributors already, but we have support 15 that we just created and we can now assign it, okay? So we can assign it to a role. Let's create a new user. So let's go back to home. Let's go to ID, and then we can do add user, new user. And the principal name, let's just call it AZ104-02- AAD user 1. Okay, and the display name is help desk 1. Password auto-generated. Properties, we can put properties if we want. And we're going to create a new user, create. And we can go to users. And we see we have a help desk user. Backend subscriptions. And then we're going to go back and access IAM. And then we're going to go into plus add a role assignment. And then the roles, we can have members, group, select members, select the help desk. Okay. We can do something like that. Oh, the role, let's do support. We're going to click on that. And members, we got that members assigned to user group or principal, assign it to them. And then review and assign. Okay. So now when we go into home, ID, users, help desk, assigned roles. So now we stay in subscriptions, so we can go into roles, role assignments. And as you can see, we got help desk under support request contributor. Okay. And that is there how you would configure a custom role-based access control in the Azure portal and assign it to a user. One thing I can say is a lot of issues can come from this code right here. Make sure there's no extra space. So as you can see, this is extra space. So if you save it like this, this all will count. We want to backspace and make sure there's no extra spaces, okay? Make sure that this is different. This is your actual ID, your subscription ID. Keep this right here, okay? Another thing, you may already have, well, you see how there was a whole nasty space right here? That will give you an error. So close that space up. This may already be a role. This is a built-in role. So I would suggest you do the space and probably put 12, or like how I was doing, 1, 2, arbitrary number, or change the name in entirety. It's up to you how you want to do this. I just want to make it very easy for you guys. But for me, I know I was tripped up a lot because of my spaces, because I was, running into conflicts. So that's one thing I know, that if you just check your code, check your JSON code, make sure it's good to go, there's no extra spaces, you will be great. Last thing is in here, okay? We want to make sure you're in the correct directory. A lot of people had a lot of questions in the last class about the directory. Why is my file not pulling up, my JSON file not pulling up? It's the directory. Change it. Learn how to change directories, okay? Learn how to make directories, go in and out of directories, right? Part of your Linux, part of being in PowerShell. All right. So yeah. So stay tuned for the next lesson in our Azure